Okay, see you later.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Loud Spot. I'm your host, Sebastian Cosby, right out of Oklahoma City, and today I'm hanging out with Andrew and Charlie from the band Steadfast. What's going on, guys?
How's it going?
What's up?
It is going good, and the HTX, just to clarify, stands for Houston, Texas, correct?
Yes, sir. Best place on earth.
Is there a lot of punk bands in, I guess it's a big city, but when I think punk rock, like especially your style of punk, I think mostly West Coast and East Coast. So, and Houston is a big town. So growing up, was there just like a bunch of punk rock bands that you were raised around or were able to listen to?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Houston's always had a pretty strong punk rock scene. A lot of great bands, punk bands. 30 Foot Fall is one of the bigger punk rock bands probably to come from Houston. But there's a big growing scene. River Phoenix TX, in the pop punk world. We're from here. I mean, there's tons of punk rock in Houston.
You know, and you now you are friends with Andy Pohl, Sell the Heart Records, and guitar player from Tsunami Bomb. And it was funny when he was on, he mentioned he just started naming punk rock bands like just like boom, boom, boom. And like as if I knew them. I'm like, man, I don't know that. I feel like if you're in the punk scene, like I didn't get into punk till like later on, right?
Okay.
So I was more like into hard rock, I guess, when I was in high school. And I those hard rock bands, but I feel like with punk rock, you could have like a venue of like 30 bands, all like within like a 10-mile radius of each other.
For sure. There's
just so many different venues. So when the band just formed in 2018, like officially formed in 2018, right?
In this iteration, right. Prior years ago, when Jason, our singer, when he was in Austin, he was in a band called Black Star Brigade, and he kind of formed a side project with some kind of a super group of Austin punk rock, some members of a band called Born to Lose and another band called Ritalin Kids. And they got together, recorded some demo tracks, played one show, and then Jason moved back to Houston. And that was where Steadfast stopped in its infancy. And then years later, Jason decided to put it back together, and here we are.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Well, so I helped Jason a little bit with that decision.
Okay. So was Jason who originated or was it thought of the band when you guys first formed? Like who formed it?
Oh, that's 100% Jason. But Andrew can tell this story. But Andrew, when Jason, he played some shows with them, shared a practice room with one of their other bands, and then really started riding Jason's ass about putting a new band together so he could play together. And Andrew, I'll let you.
So like Charlie said, so like some towns have these things called Francisco's. It's a big old building with rehearsal spaces in it. I think there's one here, there's one in Chicago, there's one in San Francisco. Yeah. Anyway, so we shared a rehearsal space in this giant, ant colony, ant farm of bands, and got to know Jason. I really liked him, man. He's just a solid dude. Fucking, just comes on like, gangbusters, man. I just love the guy. And he gave me some of his, one of his CDs from his current band at the time. It was Jason Bancroft and the Wealthy Beggars, which was kind of a folk punk act. And it was really big stuff at the time, man. And it's like, but that CD, like, it just resonated with me. I loved it. And there were some great tunes on there, and just knowing him and then listening to his music, I caught the bug for wanting to work with Jason, and I was just like, man, someday I want to get into a band with that guy. And so, and we just kept going and chugging along for a couple of years. And then I heard that the band that he was in, like, he was going to step back from Jason Bancroft and the Wealthy Beggars, take a break from that. And like the day they broke up, like I messaged him and I'm like, hey, so you need to form a band, man. And, I'll play bass for you, if you need one. and he was like, look, man, I got some stuff going on. I'm going to take some time. I appreciate your offer, dude, that I don't know very well. I'll get back with you about that. So like a month goes by, right? And I'm like, hey, man, how's it going? What about that thing we talked about? and then like once a month, I would hassle him for a year, like a year, man.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. It's like the girl you want to date that you keep on. Eventually, she's like, "Fine, I'll go on a date with you. Leave me alone."
Oh, dude, it's exactly what happened. So like a year goes by, and I get an email from him, like out of the blue. And he's like, "Hey, man, sent you some songs," and I'm like, "Because you're forming a band and I'm your bass player?" And he's like, yeah, man, I didn't think I needed to say that.
Did you guys click pretty easily as far as writing music together when you first started writing with Jason?
Jason's super easy to work with, man. He's just a powerhouse.
Yeah, I would say that, because I mean, I've been in bands, lots of bands over the years, and this is definitely one of the easiest bands to write with, and we all get along so well. And I mean, we just have a blast when we're in the same room together. It just gets stupid. To me, we've put out some of my favorite songs that I've ever been a part of. So yeah, the songwriting just clicks, and it's been a pretty awesome experience with these dudes.
It's so cool to be in a band. I feel like so many bands, even that have been on my show, like not so many of them, like there's a shit ton that do this, but I feel like some bands feel like they're forcing themselves to, like, sometimes I'll compliment a band or say something positive, and they all awkwardly look at each other. like, should have said that. It's probably gone to argument. But fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, our philosophy behind this band is friends first, have fun, put out good music. We're not trying to do these super tours, and we're just looking to have fun. If it happens, cool. But we're getting to play music with our best friends, and it could be a venue that's a dive bar in BFE, and there's 10 people there, and we're gonna have just as much fun as if we're playing in front of 10,000 people. I mean, for us, we get on stage and it's just us fucking off, having fun together. So having that kind of camaraderie internally makes it a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that's 100% true, man. It's like no pressure. It's just like, there's nerves for me. the first 5 seconds of a song, because like I don't remember the whole song all at once. It's like if I hear the first chord, then I'm like, okay, I got it. Okay, all right, I got it.
Dude, I know that feeling. It's funny you said that you would, if there was only 10 people there. I've never been in a good band, but
hey, I'm still not.
I was in this band one time. They needed like a drummer, so I was the drummer, and then the drummer wanted to come back, so they made me the screamer for the band. I don't know what I'm doing. I just have a bunch of energy, right? So we played a concert. There was like my sister, her boyfriend, and some other dude. That was it, like the bartender. That was it.
Nice.
And I was like running around on stage screaming. And looking back on it, I was like, I probably like a fucking idiot. but I was having fun looking like an idiot. So
absolutely, that's all that matters.
Oh hell
has the band played outside of Houston? Yeah. So you guys have played outside of Houston.
Absolutely. Actually, our first show together was outside of Houston. It was at a South by Southwest showcase in Austin. Was our first show, and that was after being together for a couple months, and all of a sudden we get that offer, and we're like, well, fuck it, we're doing it. But we've done a lot of shows all over Texas, and then we did a turn and burn trip to Denver and back. Cool. So we've
So you're able to get yourselves out there and get yourself known by some other audiences.
Absolutely.
Cool. How far is Austin from Houston? It's like 3 hour.
Yeah, 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah,
depending on who's driving.
Yeah, and depending on the traffic too.
Yeah, for sure.
Depending on the traffic too. So when you guys came out in 2008, was your first album released also in 2000 or not 2008, 2018? Sorry, at least I caught that right. At least I caught that. Did you guys drop an album also in 2018?
No, we actually dropped this record in July of 2020. So
perfect timing.
Our record, yeah, we'd been recording it leading up to COVID. We were super stoked, sent it off to press, and then 2020 happened, and we released a record with no possibility to support it, and the world was in shambles. So
yeah,
we're still supporting our debut record that we just released.
Yeah. So Transmitters is the music video. Was this song on that album?
That's the title track of the record. Yeah. So that's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is this song about?
Transmitters is kind of about a pirate radio station from Austin. I know that's kind of the focus around that song. That's normally Jason's spiel to talk about the songs because he writes that part of it. But yeah, it's about a pirate radio station, and that's kind of the imagery and stuff we use in the music video is a lot of like old radio towers and whatnot to kind of give it that vibe, old vibe. And we also shot that music video during COVID. We basically shot a music video without being in a room together. So that was some video wizardry by a good buddy of ours, Scott, who has done two. That's the second video he's done for us.
That's awesome.
So, yeah,
he did a good job, man. Yeah, but that song Transmitters, Jason, I think he's drawn on his experience. He worked as a DJ at a pirate radio station in Austin back in the day.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah.
And to give credit to Jason, he actually, before this episode, he was going to be on and was having some Wi-Fi issues, and I was too. I think mine's fine now, right?
You're good now. You no longer look like a robot, so we're good.
Yeah, dude, you just can never tell, man. I've had people on. It's like you just almost can't even do the show sometimes, and it's just the world we live in. And I wish I could have a whole studio and have bands in, but I talk to bands all over the United States.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And no one's flying to my shitty podcast from like California. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one day, but not today.
Hell, now that shows are coming through, you can grab them when they're coming through on to Oklahoma.
And I do. Well, I don't grab them to come here because this studio isn't set up for that. It's like it's made for one person.
Yeah.
But when they do come to Oklahoma, if a band does come here and I've had them on my show, I make an effort to go see them play.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, all right, let's play the song Transmitters. And I know the song came out a while ago. When did the video wind up making it?
We dropped the video not long ago. It was about 2 months ago. Yeah.
All right. Let's peep it out right now.